Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are having an amazing Tuesday. I wanted to shoot this video because on a coaching call earlier with a broker owner of a large office, they do a lot of production, have about 150, 175 agents, give or take, somewhere in there. We were really going through the data, saying what does the data suggest? What story is the data telling us? And really getting a deeper dive peek underneath the curtain to help shape a contest that they have coming up all about listings, what trainings to support that initiative they can offer their agents to help them with conversion rates and getting more appointments and different opportunities there. And so, to make a long story short, we were diving in their historical data, looking not just year to date numbers, but also looking back at 2024 collectively and 2023 collectively, looking for patterns and trends. And if you want to write this down, it actually might be interesting so you can look at your information as well. Here's how this all started. We were just looking at the last 3 months of this year, so May, June, July, what their listings taken was like compared to listings sold. So here's the numbers. May, they took 69 new listings, sold 30. June, they took 51 new listings, sold 41. July, took 59 new listings, sold 41. So we're like, oh, well, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, it's a lagging number, and we can say what we want about the market and slowdowns and stuff like that. But if we take this mindset that we already know the answer, that gives us or robs us of the ability to ask questions and deep dive into the full story. So we started to look back at more historical data. We look back at 2024. Here's what's interesting. In 2024, they took, for the year, 823 listings. How many did they sell? They had 440 listings sold. That's 53%. 2023, they took 764 listings, sold 423. That's 55%. So now this isn't just a small sample size and whatever. There's actually a pattern, there's a trend emerging. And here's the biggest realization with this person. As they go into this new initiative, this contest, and kind of this mantra of listings, he was getting ready to say more, 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 more. And who wouldn't want more listings, right? So I get that. But that's not the only piece of the equation. Go get more listings, go get more listings. Over time, this tells us a different story, another consideration at least, which is y'all are doing the work. You're getting listings. Now, would we want more? Sure. I'm not going to slow that train down. But why is it that about only half of the listings taken result in a listing sold, right? Where I was trained, where I came from, it should be right around 80%, or even in a slower down normalized market, at least around 65%. So either way, they're definitely underperforming as you look at listings sold versus listings taken. And so now, how does that influence training counters? Well, now we can talk about pricing strategies of how to get a listing and make sure we're not taking listings just to heck of taking them and they're overpriced or not going to sell. Because all we're doing there is putting a sign in the yard advertising that, hey, we don't sell homes. Nobody wants that. Then we can also have trainings around how to have the price improvement conversations after the home is listed for the right price, and yet still not enough activity or whatever the case may be, so we need to play the market a little bit. We can have conversations about how to go about marketing our listings. And not just marketing them in general, but also how we go about marketing and sharing them amongst the team so our own agents have a chance of bringing the buyer. And so on and so on and so on. So it really unpacks a deeper story if we just remove emotion or remove what we assume to be true and can deep dive and ask better questions to find better answers. So I'm curious, a couple things. Number one, if you have a chance to look at your patterns, your trends, your listings sold versus listings taken forever, and not blame it on the market, okay? Remove that excuse or remove that rebuttal. What is the data saying? What's your percentage based on listings taken versus listings sold? How does that work for you? Are you better than or right about where this particular brokerage is? I'd be curious to know that. And the second question I have would be, how do you scrub your data? How do you inspect what you expect so that it influences relevant trainings? We can lead from the numbers and say, all right, gang, here's what we're going to do, team. We're going to address this very specific thing with these specific trainings because here's what the data says. That, to me, and from my experience, leads to a higher level of buy-in, because now that you're not just throwing stuff on the wall hoping it sticks and it sounds good, but it's very, very intentional, rooted in the numbers, and allowing yourself and your leadership to be prescriptive to move the needle in whatever direction you need it to go based on what the numbers are telling us here. So I just thought this was a very real example, interesting exercise. Hey, not assigning good or bad, but there's definitely room for improvement. And before he was about to go into this, basically just preaching, let's go get more listings, yeah! Here's the catch-all if you've made it this far. His overall reason, his overall goal for doing this initiative is because right now they're about a 60-40 balance. 60% of their total closings come from buyers and 40% of their total closings come from sellers. He wants to get it more 50-50. Wouldn't you know? If we just move the needle 10%, so in 2024, they took 823 listings. If we just increase that by 10%, another 82 closings, that would have put them over 50% of their total closings coming from sellers versus buyers. Hello, same thing. In 2023, when they took 764 new listings, 10% of that, let's call it another 76 closings. If they just sold 76 more of the homes that they already took, all right, on the list side, would have resulted in exactly a 50-50 balanced production for the entire company. So wait a minute, you're telling me we're already doing the hard work, right? We're already getting the listings, and again, who wouldn't want more? But the answer isn't just let's go get more when we've got a very average at best conversion rate going on here. Let's go get more and let's be better at the same time, because he doesn't necessarily need to go get more listings. He and his entire team just need to sell the listings that they already got. Or they need to heighten the standard of the listings they take to also influence that higher conversion rate if knowingly some agents are taking listings that are overpriced and probably never going to sell in the first place. So there's a lot of different dynamic and conversation going on here. Hopefully you've made it this far and this is making sense. Let me know below. What do you look for? How do you let numbers dictate and influence things like your training calendar, like your contest initiatives, coaching sessions? And what is your current year-to-date or historical 2024, 2023 conversion rate from listings taken to listings sold? I'd love to know. Please comment below. Hope you guys have a great day.